I came across the tragic story, the tragic rest of the story that I was never told in Sunday school, of the Apostle Orson Pratt, brother of Parley P. Pratt, while reading in Fawn Brody's book, No Man Knows My History. In the whole finger-pointing brouhaha between Joseph Smith and John Bennett, Sarah Pratt was caught in the crossfire. It was insinuated that Sarah was caught in bed with John Bennett by Joseph Smith. John Bennett turned it around and said that Sarah Pratt had actually been sleeping with Joseph. And Sarah Pratt got to be the scapegoat. Whether or not she actually slept with John Bennett or Joseph Smith, in this environment of religious coercion by male ecclesiastical authority, I don't see how she holds a really large modicum of blame, having been through similar things myself. Of course, all this went down when she was alone and her husband was on a mission. Yes. I'm going to read to you a passage from page 319 of the book. Bennett had fully expected Pratt to follow him out of the church. Pratt, who had some time since returned from England to teach mathematics at the University of Nauvoo, wandered about Nauvoo like a man bereft of sense, proclaiming the innocence of his wife to every passerby. When William Law called upon the saints in a public meeting to acknowledge Joseph as a, quote, good, moral, virtuous, peaceable, and patriotic man, unquote, Pratt stood up, pale and lonely looking among the thousands, to register the only negative vote. So he was in full truth crisis at this point. One morning he disappeared, and the whole of Nauvoo went out in search of him, for he was generally liked and admired. He was finally discovered miles below the town, sitting hatless on the bank of the Mississippi, shorn of his apostleship, suspicious of friend and enemy alike, and tormented by doubts of Sarah's own denials. He had come very near suicide. But he stayed in Nauvoo, wrestling with his furies for 5 months, after which he was rebaptized with his wife in the Mississippi River. So I had to do some digging, and this is a tragic story of Kool-Aid drinking. Here is a letter found during that time, written by the pen of Orson Pratt, brother of Parley P. Pratt. Here's what the brethren did to win Orson Pratt over to themselves and the church. Basically, Orson Pratt chose to swallow the logical fallacy, the backfire effect, completely down the whole tumbler of Kool-Aid, becoming the church's star apologist for polygamy. The only happy thing about this story is that his wife became a second-time excommunicated apostate, and she raised her children to hate polygamy and reject Mormonism. It's like the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on, my friends. Some people started singing it, knowing full well it was a lie. What will you choose, your family or the lie?